Hurricane Otis has torn through the Mexican resort city of Acapulco, battering hotels with torrential rains and high winds. It hit Mexico's Pacific coast overnight as a top-level Category 5 storm, sending tourists running for cover before weakening to a Category 2, but it is expected to continue generating heavy rains over a large area. Mexico's president had warned affected residents to seek safety in 700 emergency shelters. Two other storms have killed 5 people earlier in the month. Well, let's head into the newsroom, speak to our reporter from BBC World Service, Mimi Swaby, who's following this for us, and maybe just tell us a little more about the impact this storm has had. Well, residents in the southern state of Guerrero woke up this morning to the chaos that's been left behind in the wake of this hurricane. Now, this hurricane has surprised forecasters. It very quickly escalated from a tropical storm to a top-level Category 5 hurricane within hours, before then decreasing back to a Category 4. However, this does not mean that the damage has not been catastrophic, as was warned. High levels of wind up to 165 miles an hour, rain, warnings of flash flooding have really battered this coastline, and many in the resort, the Acapulco, very famous beach resort, have felt and been at the brunt of that battering. Had there been warnings? Were they prepared, or did it catch them by surprise? The government had put in place an emergency disaster plan ahead of this hurricane making landfall. The National Police, the security forces, are now in charge of preparing evacuations and rescues, and the national military were deployed to patrol across that coastline, up to 350 kilometers of that coastline, all the way through that really famous beach resort. Once again, however, people are saying, yes, the warnings were there, but they weren't far enough ahead. People boarding up their homes, trying to minimize this huge level of damage that is sweeping inland from the southern coast into the region. So up to 50 centimeters of rain is expected in parts of this area, and we're already seeing cars partly submerged in flooding, water flooding, as well as hotel rooms being absolutely wrecked, ceilings, walls ripped off. So this damage is huge. There have been warnings and infrastructure put in place to try and minimize it, although people are still waking up, and the extent of that damage is still yet to be seen. And really briefly, how long before they think this actually passes? It keeps changing hour by hour. It's been luckily decreased to a Category 4, but it's making its way inland through the Guerrero state and to neighboring states. So people are bracing for the worst. Schools have been closed, flights being suspended in the nearby airports. People are hoping it will pass quickly, but it is a dynamic situation, so it's still needing monitored very carefully. Phoebe, thanks very much.